Hi, I'm Ryan, and welcome to 77 Rockets Woodworking. This week's episode, we're going to be doing two fall projects with this piece of redwood from Home Depot. I'm going to show you how. Check it out. Alright, so here are your two projects. So your first one, you have three individual pieces at 9 inches, just like these. And we're going to mill them down to 3 inches thick. Right now they're not quite there, so we got to mill them down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to join these pieces together once they're all milled up. And then after that, I'm going to be making a jig, and then we're going to be cutting a cove in the center of these, like a bowl kinda, to fit a candle holder and some rocks in. And that's going to be our first one. And then this second one, it's going to be like this. There's going to be one candle upright, and there's going to be two candles that are going to be wrapping around and meeting this candle at an angle with a miter. And then I'm actually going to throw some brass slots in too. So right here, these aren't quite the dimensions, but I'm going to miter from this corner. I have my marks. This is just kind of like a rough draft. So from long point to your square point, it's going to be 7 inches both ways. And these are also going to be 3 inches thick, all this wood. And this one right here is probably going to be like a 9-inch candle as well. Probably what this is. I think this is about 9, but these are going to be cut down. So there's our projects. Let's get to it. So you got your piece of redwood right here. And as usual, before you cut your piece down into certain dimensions, you want to run one long cut. So this one's going to be 3 at 9. So you're going to have 9, and then you have 18 and an eighth to account for blade, and then 27 and a quarter. So 27 and a quarter is going to be the cut that you're going to be squaring off. Just like that. And we're going to go hit it up on the miter saw and make our cut. Still have my trenching feature on. Now we'll finish the cut. Now that this piece is cut, we're going to take it over and we're going to mill it on the joiner. Now that both these sides are milled, now we're going to run them through the thickness planer. Here we go! So now that we got this bad boy milled up, now we can break it down into our dimensions. So 9, and then 18 and an eighth. And obviously the remainder is that additional 9. So the overall is 27 and a quarter. Now we're going to cut it down. All right, so I got these all milled, I got these all cut. So now I just have to glue them up, and while they're drying, I'm gonna be starting this next project. So meet me at the miter saw. All right, so while that one's gluing, I milled these down off camera. This is gonna be the vertical candle holder. So this one's gonna be cut at 6 inches. I'll square that off. So that's going to be cut at 6 inches. Put that to the side. And these ones are going to have a 45. It's going to break down to like 45.3. So I'll go to my pivot point on my piece, and then I'll pull so that my 45 is barely past this right there. And I'll make a mark just like that. And it should look like that. And then with my tape measure, I'm going to be coming back 7 inches. Make a mark. I'll just use this square just because it's close. So just off that one. And that's both of these. This is going to be a 45.3 degree cut. And then from that long point, you pull back 7 inches. And that's going to be the same dimension for this one. And then I'm gonna, after I get those cut, I'm gonna glue these up. All right, so I cut some 1.5-inch cauls, and they're gonna be, I'm gonna use some super glue, some CA glue and activator. Put one on each side. I came back 3 inches on each side. You can come back however far you want, but that's what I'm using for this. And then I'm gonna use those to clamp off of once I glue up the inside. And then I'm gonna also use this piece to lock in both sides so that I can get a solid glue up. All right, so everything's glued up. Now this piece of plywood is going to be part of a jig. Now I took my fences off on my miter saw so that I can center this jig up with the center of my saw, so my blade is able to curve and I'm able to maneuver my jig the way I need to. So this is a 4-inch piece, or 4-foot piece rather, a little bit over 4 feet. And I'm doing so that I can fasten it to my workbench, and then it's going to just basically be just hovering over tightly though on my miter saw base basically. So I'm going to get my half, which is 2 feet. I'm going to have to get my framing square. What's that? And I'm explaining this to you guys simply because if you guys want to do this too, I'm going to get my longer framing square. And I feel like this will be helpful for you guys if you guys want to make a jig of your own. This is the way I'm doing it. There's many other ways to do this, I'm sure. But I'm going to find my center point on here, right? And then I know that this piece, so this piece right now is 10, it's 10 and almost 1/8 by 9. So I'm going to go that 10, so I'm going to go 5 and like a 1/16 on both sides. Five and a 1/16 on this other side. Oops, let's get that all good. Do the same thing over here. just square across. A little bit off my line. That right there. There's 9 inches. This is 12 inches. So I split that. I'll come in 1.5 inches here. 1.5 inches here. 1.5 inches here. 1.5 inches here. And this should jive pretty good. With my piece. And give or take, it gets me exactly where I need to be. And tighten up these lines a little bit. And then now, I'll just create an axis for my piece. So now I know that's where I'm gonna sit. Then I can X this up too, just for further reference. This might be a little overkill, but I'm kind of an overkill type of guy. And you know that your piece is gonna sit there once fastened. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill a hole with this, put this through. I'm gonna take this sharp edge off, and I'm gonna drill the same hole in the center of this piece. And this is gonna be sticking up, and this is gonna allow me, and I'm also gonna put some paste wax on here. This is gonna allow me to rotate. And I'm thinking that I might, just so this piece is hovering just so ever so slightly, I might on here, I might put a little washer. So check it out. So while I'm waiting for the glue up for the other thing, I am going to be cutting little dado slots for these right here. So on these, I think I'm gonna go 3 on each of these on both sides, and then on these, I'm gonna go 3, just the 2 sides that are gonna be exposed so that you can see. Let's get to cutting. All right, so the layout on both of these is the same. I came in 3/4 from each side, and then for the centers, I came in 1 5/8. And that's going to go run through here to here. And this one, the one that's going to be sitting like this, same thing, 3/4, 3/4, and 1 5/8. So I'm going to get those cut. Look it up. All right, power's back on. For how long though? Find out. All right, so this one's done. The only thing that needs to be done to this one is a little bit of sanding and slap some finish on it. And this one still needs the brass bars, and then I just need to lay out for my holes. So I'm gonna do this, just like this, and go to each corner. Just gonna put 2 holes for the candles. So X that out. And X that out. Same thing goes for this one. Just meet this corner. Hole. And make intersecting lines like this. Just like that. And the candle holders, I'm gonna add those in. So these ones are a little over 2 inch, strong 2 inches by 2 3/8, and the bottom is 1 3/4 inches. So we're gonna come over that inch, that strong inch, make a mark. Another one, strong inch, make a mark. This other one, a strong inch, make a mark. And finally, this one, and make a mark. Now you're gonna put the hole, scribe it. Make sure you take your time and get it right. And the same thing goes for this one. And then I'm gonna drill out my holes, and I'll meet you back here. All right, so got the holes all drilled out. Before I put these brass bars in these slots, I'm gonna hit this with some sandpaper, and I'm gonna hit this with some sandpaper. And then after that, we're gonna slap some finish on this, and then it's glory shot time. Let's go. Wow, guys, did these come out amazing? little bit of sanding, a little bit of finish, a little bit of love and detail, a little bit of rocks, some candles, and these candle holders are taking off. My name is Ryan, and this has been 77 Rockets Woodworking. See you on the next one.